your bank just approved you for a $40,000 credit limit, and you genuinely believe this is good news. Welcome back, future millionaires, and everyone currently in a slightly toxic relationship with the word debt. I'm Lexa, and today we are completely flipping the script on one of the most misunderstood concepts in personal finance. Because here is the thing your parents and every single boomer financial guru never told you. Not all debt is evil.
Some debt is actually a cheat code. Some debt builds empires. And some debt makes the bank rich while you cry into your overdrafted account. The trick is knowing the difference. And spoiler alert, most people do not. So put down the Klarna receipts, mute your credit card notifications, and let's decode the matrix. Let's start with the brutal truth. The wealthy do not avoid debt. They use debt like a power tool. Meanwhile, the average person treats debt like a pet they accidentally adopted at the mall. Confused, resentful, slightly terrified, but somehow still feeding it every month. Here is the actual definition that nobody teaches you in school. Good debt is debt that puts more money in your pocket than it takes out. Bad debt is debt that takes money out of your pocket and gives you absolutely nothing in return except maybe a hangover and a regret-filled Instagram story. That is it. That is the whole framework. If a loan is helping you build wealth, it's good. If a loan is helping you look wealthy, it's catastrophic. Let's break down what good debt actually looks like. Example 1, a mortgage on a property that generates income. If you take out a loan to buy a duplex, live in one half, and rent out the other half, congratulations. Your tenants are now paying down your mortgage while the property appreciates in value. You are using the bank's money to buy yourself an asset. That is good debt. Example 2, a low-interest student loan for a degree that actually increases your earning potential. If you borrow $30,000 for an engineering degree that gets you an $80,000 starting salary, the math works out. If you borrow $90,000 for a degree in basket weaving with a minor in vibes, the math does not work. I am not saying don't follow your dreams. I am saying maybe don't bankroll your dreams with predatory loans. Example 3, a business loan to start something that scales. Wealthy people borrow money all the time to start businesses, because if your business generates more revenue than the loan costs you in interest, you just made money out of thin air. That is leverage. That is the cheat code. Now, let's talk about bad debt. And by bad, I mean genuinely cursed. Bad debt category 1. High-interest credit card debt for consumer purchases. If you put a vacation, a designer bag, or a new TV on a credit card and you are paying 24% interest on it, you are setting your money on fire. Slowly, methodically, every single month. That handbag is now technically costing you double its sticker price, and it doesn't even appreciate. It depreciates the second you walk out of the store. Bad debt category 2, financing depreciating assets at insane rates. Brand new cars are the absolute worst offender. You finance a $50,000 SUV at 9% over 7 years. By the time you pay it off, you have spent close to $70,000 total, and the car is worth maybe $12,000 on a good day. You essentially paid the price of a small house for a metal box that beeps when you back up. Bad debt category 3, payday loans. These should genuinely be illegal, but they aren't. Some payday loans charge interest rates over 400%. If you ever find yourself considering one, please call literally any human being in your life first. There is always a better option. Bad debt category 4. Buy now, pay later for things you can't afford. I have ranted about this before, but I will rant about it again. Splitting a $200 pair of jeans into 4 payments of $50 does not make them affordable. It makes you a target market for a fintech app. Now, here's the mindset shift that separates wealthy people from broke people. Wealthy people ask one question before borrowing money. Will this debt produce more money than it costs me? If yes, they borrow aggressively. If no, they don't borrow at all. Broke people ask a completely different question. Can I make the minimum monthly payment? That is the wrong question. If your only criteria for taking on debt is whether you can afford the smallest possible monthly bite, you are about to be in financial pain for a very long time. Let me tell you about something called leverage. Leverage is when you use a small amount of your own money plus a larger amount of borrowed money to control a much bigger asset. Real estate investors live and die by this concept. Imagine you have $50,000 saved. You could buy one $50,000 property in cash, or you could put 20% down on 5 separate $250,000 properties using mortgages. Now, you control over $1 million of real estate using the same $50,000. If those properties appreciate by 5% in a year, you just made $50,000 instead of $2,500. That is leverage. That is why rich people love debt. Now, obviously, leverage cuts both ways. If those properties drop in value, you are absolutely cooked, which is why you have to know what you are doing. But the principle is real and it is powerful. Here is another concept nobody talks about: arbitrage. If you can borrow money at 3% interest and invest it at 8% return, you are literally making 5% on money that wasn't even yours. Companies do this constantly. Wealthy individuals do this constantly. Most regular people have never even heard of it. Now, I'm not telling you to go borrow money to invest in the stock market. That is genuinely risky, and I am not your financial advisor. But understanding that this is happening at the top of the wealth pyramid changes everything about how you view debt. Let's circle back to your life. Most of you reading this comment section right now are sitting on bad debt. Credit cards, auto loans, maybe some BNPL plans. Maybe student loans for a degree you never finished. And the question is, what do you do? Step 1. List every single debt you have, the interest rate on each one, and the minimum payment. Most people have never done this. Doing it is going to feel like opening your phone health screen time on a Sunday morning. Painful, but necessary. Step 2. Rank your debts from highest interest rate to lowest interest rate. Step 3. Throw every spare dollar at the highest interest rate debt while paying minimums on the rest. This is called the avalanche method. Mathematically, it is the fastest way to get out of bad debt. Some people prefer the snowball method, which targets smallest balances first for psychological wins. Both work. What does not work is doing nothing and hoping the debt goes away. It will not. Debt does not have feelings. Debt does not respect your busy schedule. Debt compounds while you sleep. And finally, the golden rule. Stop taking on new bad debt while you are trying to escape old bad debt. I have seen people aggressively pay off a credit card and then immediately finance a new car. That is not a journey. That is a hamster wheel with extra steps. Look, debt is not inherently evil. It is a tool. A hammer can build a house or it can break a window. The hammer doesn't care. Your debt doesn't care either. What matters is whether you are using it to build something or destroy something. Use debt to buy assets. Use debt to invest in your earning power. Use debt strategically and ruthlessly. Don't use debt to look rich. Don't use debt to fund a lifestyle that doesn't fit your income. Don't use debt to chase a dopamine hit at Sephora.
I have been Lexa. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and please send this to that one friend who keeps saying good debt isn't real while paying off the same Visa balance for the 3rd year in a row. They desperately need an intervention. See you in the next one, whenever compound interest makes us all a little richer. Stay broke on the outside, leveraged on the inside, and please, for the love of cash flow, do the math first.